Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about English country cottage style. If you love cozy, lived-in spaces layered with antique and vintage pieces, patterns, colors, and natural elements, then you'll love this interior design style. Note, I'm calling this English country cottage style to differentiate between English seaside cottage style and English country style, the latter of which is the more formal and traditional design style of the three. The English cottage style was designed to be practical, functional, and comfortable, and you often hear it described as charming and cozy. But what are the characteristics and how do you create that look? Let's talk about the key elements to creating a home in the English cottage style. Then I'll design with you a mood board in that style and take you thrifting with me so you can see how to get that look on a small budget. The first characteristic of English country cottage style is embracing nature and natural elements. English cottage style developed in the countryside of England, so it's only natural that nature would play a large role in the colors, prints, materials, and overall design of the home. In terms of construction materials, homes have hardwood and flagstone floors. Fireplaces feature mantles made from wood or stone or brick surround. Sometimes entire walls may consist of brick or stone. On the ceilings, you'll often see exposed wooden beams. Earthy dark woods are favored over light and white woods. Popular wood types include oak and walnut. In addition to influencing the materials used in the home, nature also influences the colors and patterns in an English cottage. Colors are derived from nature and favor muted, warm colors, creamy whites, all variations of green and brown with occasional pops of brighter colors. In a traditional Cotswold cottage, you'll see a more neutral colored palette, grays, browns, creams, and beiges. Modern contemporary English designers are mixing the traditional cottage colors with bolder, brighter pink colors and prints. The nature and landscape of the English countryside seamlessly blends into the cottage. Exteriors may feature lavender, wisteria, climbing ivy, and climbing roses, and have vegetable gardens, cutting gardens, and wildflowers. Those plants and flowers make their way inside as potted plants and herbs on the windowsill, cut flowers in a vase, hydrangeas drying as they hang from the ceiling, and baskets of eggs, berries, apples, or vegetables sit on the countertop in the kitchen. Hopefully your cottage has a mudroom because the outside is coming in. Florals appear on fabric-covered furniture, pillows, and bedroom sheets. Nature is also featured in the artwork in the home in the form of botanical prints and paintings featuring wildlife and other animals, the rural countryside, landscapes, and still lifes. Element number 2 is cozy and comfortable. An English country cottage is a home that feels like a hug. It is warm, soft, and a shelter from the storm. The warm, cozy feeling comes from the relatively small rooms and low ceilings, as well as the comfortable furniture, warm colors, layered fabrics, and natural textiles used in the home. Also, quite literally, as warmth emanates from a stone fireplace in the living room or kitchen. As mentioned before, the walls of a cottage sometimes feature brick or stone, but another hallmark is decorative wall treatments like wallpaper, tongue and groove paneling, and wainscoting. Wallpaper typically features prints and patterns depicting elements found in nature. If the walls are painted, they are a matte or flat, not a high glossy or shiny finish. The light is warm, never cool in tone. Chandeliers, table, and floor lamps have lampshades, often covered in a printed fabric which softens the hard lamp base. Furnishings are soft, as sofas and armchairs are plush, overstuffed, and comfortable, meant to be used for long periods of time, encouraging relaxation and conversation. Upholstered ottomans are often used as coffee tables in the living room. Kitchens may have a sitting area with a vintage chair and a side table. Fabrics, patterns, and textiles are layered around the home. Popular patterns include botanicals, of course, but also traditional patterns like stripes and gingham. They appear on furniture like sofas, chairs, and headboards, as well as throw blankets, towels, drapery, pillows, and other furnishings. Wicker, rattan, and other organic materials add a sense of warmth and texture. Windows in this style of home are often small, but they are decorated with lush curtains and fabric-covered or wooden shades. The decor is also layered and includes candles, books, antique art, and family heirlooms, which brings us to the third element of English cottage design. It is collected and unassuming. The items in this home, whether furniture, servingware, or books, have been collected and passed down within the family, so there is an element of history and preservation in the home. Oil paintings in antique gold or wooden frames may hold old portraits of generations past. Furniture may have had custom upholstery from 20 years ago. Since items are antique or vintage but meant to be used, they are repaired, reused, beautifully aged, weathered, worn, and patinaed. Kitchen countertops and shelves are full of useful items like cutting boards and crockery, copper or brass pots, pans, and tea kettles, as well as dining and servingware. Kitchens themselves often appear collected and eclectic, as they have freestanding furniture and cabinets. Bookshelves and cabinets are used to contain collections of books, art, ceramics, and family heirlooms. This is a laid-back, relaxed, traditional style. Not stuffy, not too formal, not too precious. It is a practical and functional home. For example, a portiere or door drapery is installed to add beauty and character as they stop drafts and create privacy. Kitchens have open shelving for easy access to exposed utensils, spices, and other items. Umbrellas are in a stand or hanging near the front door. Boots and baskets for collecting flowers, herbs, and vegetables are near the door to the garden. Now that we are familiar with the characteristics of an English country cottage, let's design a room in this style. I'm going to design a bedroom this time, and since the bed is usually the primary focus in the bedroom and the largest piece of furniture, I am starting with the headboard. I picked this one from Birch Lane because it was actually a little challenging to find one in the right pattern, shape, and angle to use in this exercise, but this one fits the bill. I wanted an upholstered headboard with a floral pattern in warm colors. In real life, I would layer a comforter or quilt on the bed as well. Next, I searched for the flooring and the wall covering. I wanted a flooring with wide planks and settled on this one, which is the oldest walnut wood I could find. Knowing that the headboard was a large brown and cream floral pattern, I looked for a small pattern wallpaper. I don't subscribe to fashion and design rules like skinny jeans are out or don't mix metals. I think fake little rules like these limit personal creativity, and in general, if you like it and it makes you feel good, then wear it and put it in your home. That being said, there are design choices that will make a room feel awkward, like when a rug is too small for the room. It just makes you feel like something is off. Mixing patterns is one of those things. You can go wild, but balance will make the room cozy and not crazy. In this case, I need a small print on the walls to balance the large print on the headboard. The wallpaper I selected is from Cherish, and it's actually a fabric by Schumacher. I was really tired when I picked it out, and by the time I realized it was fabric, I had already wallpapered the whole room. So I'm glad this isn't a real room because it would be a very expensive mistake. I picked it for the small floral that is given structure by the stripes. For the area rug, I saw a lot of seagrass-looking rugs in an English cottage, but I'm not a big fan of these rugs indoors, so I found a rug in the same color palette. I picked this rug from Amazon because it has whites, golds, and browns. Close up, you see a pattern, but far away, it just kind of looks tan. I inserted 2 small wooden windows and brought in linen drapes in the color flax. English Country Cottage style usually has printed drapes, but the room already has 3 patterns, so I wanted to bring in a solid color. The room should be giving off a cozy feeling with the warm colors and the soft fabrics of the curtains, upholstered bed, and the rug. But now I'm going to lean into the fantasy and bring in a fireplace. This is an English antique cast iron fireplace. A fireplace in the bedroom is a luxury to me. If I were to get this look in my budget, I would look for a fireplace surround on Facebook Marketplace and use flameless candles in place of wood. I'm going to bring in 2 upholstered sitting chairs in a floral printed fabric and a table to create a place to sit and enjoy the fire. Speaking of tables, I'm bringing in antique nightstands, a dresser, a desk or vanity with a chair, and a side table. I went with dark woods because it's more common in a cottage style. Lighter wood tones and painted chippy wood often appear in more shabby chic and American cottage designs. For lighting, I'm bringing in 2 brass lamps with gathered printed lampshades for the nightstands. These are the Grafton lamp with an antique brass base by Robert Keim. It's fairly typical to have fabric-covered shades on a sconce by the bed, so I'm adding these. I'm bringing in 2 brass floor lamps with off-white pleated shades, one for the desk area and the other by the fire. I'm also adding a round mirror to bounce light around the room. I could bring in a chandelier or overhead light fixture, but I decided not to. For the decor, I'm adding some artwork that features nature and animals. Ideally, they would be in gold frames. Some books with bunny bookends, which is a little nod to Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit. Some practical and pretty items like this rattan basket, tray, garbage can, and tissue box cover. And these fireplace tools and a brass piece to contain wood. A throw pillow in a William Morris print seems like it's mandatory. A pop of peach in a lumbar pillow and a wool throw blanket. For additional styling, I would add books on the mantle as well as a box and a tray for storing matches for the fire, and potentially some candles and a vase. I would also add a large oil painting or maybe a mirror above the mantle. I have a lot of colors in the brown family, but I want to make sure to bring in some other colors like a pretty peach, some blues in the art and on the lampshades. And of course, I want to bring in green to tie the colors of the grass and the trees that are outside the house. Green shows up on the painted detail of the dresser, in the art, the seat of the chair, in the throw blanket. I'll include another green pillow, and last but not least, the flowers and greenery, which an English cottage would feel incomplete without. Reflecting on the 3 characteristics of an English country cottage, we have nature and natural elements, cozy and comfortable, and collected and unassuming. I see nature and natural elements in the colors and the prints, in the plants and flowers, in the art and decor, including the rabbits and the baskets, and in the woods and rattan on the chair. This room feels cozy and comfortable with a warm color palette, various textures, and plenty of soft fabrics from the upholstered furniture to the drapery, rug, pillows, and throw blanket. Oh, and of course, the fireplace. As for collected and unassuming, this room has plenty of antique and vintage pieces from the furniture to the art. The furniture's wood is matching in tone, but not in shape. I collected these items from various sources on Facebook Marketplace, not a big box store. The lighting is modern, but has a vintage look. Nothing in the room is too precious, too fancy. I selected the armchairs by the fire because I wanted a special area for sitting and chairs that encouraged plopping and resting for a while. Now that we have a pretty good handle on the style, let's head to the thrift store and see if we can find some secondhand decor that will work in an English cottage. All right, headed into Savers to see if I can do a sort of English country thrift and style. Wish me luck. Don't wish me luck, I got this. As we look through the home decor section, I want to address some of the items on the mood board. If you watched my Nancy Myers or Pearson Ward videos or another video in which I designed a presentation board, you know that I try to be frugal and source furniture on Facebook Marketplace. This means that I'm limiting myself to what is available in the United States, so I may not have access to furniture made in England. I thought that might be important to mention. That frame. That's cool. I mean, kind of the vibe. Definitely fall vibes for $11. Alright, let's go through some fabric and pull something kind of English country. I really like this. It's not the color scheme, but it's okay. That's okay. Pickings were slim at the Savers today. Not overall, but in our design style. Please note this woman on the right because I will get back to her in a second. Here is my poll for the English Country Cottage style. I was going for a more mature look, so I avoided mixing too many colors, sticking with browns, whites, and blues, balancing the warm and cool tones. We've got some linens that look vintage, some servingware including a pitcher, which could serve dual purposes for beverages or flowers. Speaking of flowers, I found a crock and stuck some faux flowers in it, and flowers appear on the plates, teapot, ceramic basket, pitcher, and bowl. I included a duck or goose basket, but this reads a little more American cottage than English cottage. I styled all of the items on a French Provençal hutch. This type of furniture was popular in the 1950s and the 1980s when reproduction pieces were mass-produced. If you're a longtime friend of my channel, you're probably familiar with this style as you saw me make over my French Provençal dresser. Typically, English cottages had unfitted kitchens, meaning kitchens had freestanding furniture, hutches, and cabinets instead of wall-mounted cabinets. Obviously, French Provençal isn't English, but in 2024, you might see a French-style hutch in an English cottage, so I thought it would be kind of cute to use this to style the pieces. Now for that lady. She watched me style the hutch and then came back to look at it. A few minutes later, she bought it. Is it because it looked amazing after I styled it up? I like to think so. Didn't even use this one, brand new, wherever this is. That about does it for English Country Cottage design. What is your favorite element of the English cottage design? Are there other styles you'd like to see a video about or styles you'd like me to thrift? Comment below to let me know. If you like thrifting, interior design, and DIY, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. And of course, like this video. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday. Bye!